Welcome to Tokyo DisneySea. In this video, I'll show you the rides and attractions in this theme park, from those in the Mediterranean harbor of Porto Paradiso to the newest ones in Fantasy Springs. I've been to the park many times, including as an annual pass holder, so along the way, I'll give you some tips on how to minimize your wait times. Anyway, let's head into Mediterranean Harbor. Once you see the volcano Mount Prometheus, if you take the path to the right, you'll approach one of the most popular attractions in DisneySea, Soaring Fantastic Flight. Here you'll board a Dream Flyer glider developed by Camelia Falco, a member of Disney's secret society, the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. Once your ride vehicle is airborne, you'll see scenes from all around the world. This attraction is similar to the Soaring Around the World attractions in other Disney parks, but features an ending scene that's exclusive to Tokyo DisneySea and a more stunning show building. If you continue on past Soaring, you'll reach Fortress Explorations, which is a walk-through attraction with many interesting interactive exhibits. Here, you can participate in the Leonardo challenge in the afternoon. You'll be given a map to follow, and at the end, you can stamp your map to be recognized by the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. While the short videos in this challenge and the maps are entirely in Japanese, I have seen people complete this challenge with the help of Google Translate. The maps also have furigana if you have at least a basic Japanese reading ability. Since there are multiple maps, you can complete this challenge more than once. Moving back towards the front of the harbor, you'll find the Venetian gondolas. On this ride, gondoliers will ferry you around the canals of this Italian town of Porto Paradiso. I think it's pretty fun when you're about to sail under a bridge and people stop to wave at you. If you want to ride this attraction, make sure to check the show schedule in the Tokyo Disney Resort app because this ride will usually stop running at least half an hour before a show begins on the harbor. After the show ends, the gondolas will start up again. There's one other attraction that stops running during harbor shows, the Transit Steamer Line. This attraction goes clockwise around the park and stops at two other ports of call. Make sure you check where you will be going to before you get in line because you might have to get off at American Waterfront or Lost River Delta, but sometimes they allow you to do a full circle tour back to Mediterranean Harbor. Speaking of American Waterfront, let's now move on to this second themed port. The most popular attraction here is Toy Story Mania. This is a ride with various 3D shooting minigames based on Toy Story. When I brought my friend who rarely visits theme parks to DisneySea, he said that this was his favorite attraction in the entire park. This attraction also exists in the American Disney parks, so if you often visit those, it might not be worth the wait for you here at DisneySea. The second most popular attraction in this area is the Tower of Terror. While other Disney parks have an attraction with the same name, the story and theme of DisneySea's version is completely different. On this version of the ride, the New York City Preservation Society has invited you to a tour of an infamous hotel owned by Harrison Hightower. This corrupt member of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers was cursed by the Shiriki Otundu idol, and perhaps you might suffer the same fate he did if you board one of the elevators. If you're looking for a special personalized souvenir, then you might want to consider the ride photo from this attraction. Nearby, you'll find Turtle Talk in the SS Columbia cruise ship. Here, with the help of a hydrophone, Crush from Finding Nemo will interact with the audience and tell jokes. This is a fun little show for kids, but it's entirely in Japanese, so this is something to skip if you can't understand the language. Circling this New York-themed section of American Waterfront are the big city vehicles, a number of 20th century automobiles. Kids often like to sit near the driver, but make sure to check the operating hours because this attraction usually does not run all day. While the big city vehicles drop you off right where you started, the electric railway takes you over to Port Discovery. It's pretty cool to take this elevated railway and get a different view of the park, but we'll actually cross over a pedestrian bridge into the New England town of Cape Cod. In Cape Cod, in addition to the port for the transit steamer line, you'll find the village greeting place where you can currently meet Shelly May. Unlike at character greetings in other Disney parks around the world, at Tokyo Disney, your entire group is expected to be in one photo together, and they'll likely hurry you along rather than help you with multiple photos and multiple poses. There will be a cast member there that can help you with your own personal camera, and if you live in Japan, you may be able to use the Japanese version of the app to access Photo Keycard, where you can purchase things like photo CDs. But the last time I visited here, the cameras for Photo Keycard were turned off. If you head under the volcano, you'll enter Mysterious Island. Here, you'll find 20,000 leagues under the sea. On this attraction, you join Captain Nemo in one of his submarines as he searches for the lost city of Atlantis. While this ride can have short waits at the end of the day, Mysterious Island also hosts one of the most popular attractions in the park, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Here you'll board mine vehicles that tunnel deep into the earth, where you'll see a number of mysterious sights. Eventually, you'll get blasted to the surface by seismic activity and rush down the side of the volcano. This is one of my favorite attractions in all of the Disney parks. Near the exit of Journey to the Center of the Earth, you'll see a path into Port Discovery. When you come in from this direction, you'll see the station for the electric railway. Nearby, there's a set of stairs down to the other two attractions in this themed port. Aquatopia is an outdoor attraction where you'll board a watercraft that seems to be hovering over shallow water. This ride goes in unpredictable directions, so you never know which way you'll turn, even if you've been on this ride before. If you go on this ride in the summer, there's even a chance that you may get wet. The other attraction in Port Discovery is Nemo and Friends SeaRider. You'll board a special submarine made of cheeseminium, which shrinks down to let you experience the world of Nemo and Dory. This simulator attraction features multiple random segments, so if you go on this ride more than once, you may visit different places each time. As you head to the back of the park, you'll find the Lost River Delta. Here, there's a few other character greetings and the third port for the transit steamer line. The most impressive structure in this land is Indiana Jones' Temple of the Crystal Skull. Here, you'll go on a very bumpy Jeep ride as part of a tour organized by Paco, a friend of Indiana Jones. While there is a similar Indiana Jones attraction at Disneyland in California, the version in DisneySea features several effects that are not in California's version of the ride. As you get bounced about, you'll have your photo taken, which you can purchase after exiting the ride. Next to Indiana Jones, you'll find Raging Spirits, where you'll race around an ancient ceremonial site in a roller coaster that features a 360-degree loop. This ride is similar to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril at Disneyland Paris. Currently, both Raging Spirits and Indiana Jones have something called Single Rider, which can get you significantly lower wait times. If you're willing to be separated from other members of your group when you ride, then just tell a cast member at the entrance to the queue and they'll direct you to the Single Rider line. Just past Raging Spirits, you'll find the entrance into Fantasy Springs, the newest area of Tokyo DisneySea. At the time of making this video, there are restrictions on who can enter Fantasy Springs, which I've explained in my vlog-style video about this land. The most popular attraction in Fantasy Springs is Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey. On this ride, you board a boat that sails through various scenes from the movie Frozen. There are a few very minor drops on this ride, so if you sit on the front or on the sides, you may get a little bit wet. While similar in concept to Frozen Ever After in other Disney parks, there are a lot of scenes in Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey that are not in Frozen Ever After, so it's still highly worth riding even if you have been to other Disney parks. Another popular attraction in Fantasy Springs is Rapunzel's Lantern Festival. In this boat ride, you get to experience Rapunzel's best day ever. The final scene, when you sail into the Lantern Festival, is extremely visually stunning and makes me wish that the duration of this ride were a little bit longer. On the other side of Fantasy Springs, you'll find Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. As the ride transitions from real sets to 3D screens, you'll get a feeling that your ride vehicle is actually flying with the help of pixie dust. I've seen quite a few people online say that this is one of their favorite attractions at DisneySea. The fourth attraction in Fantasy Springs is Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. Your buggy will turn left, right, and around as you join Tinkerbell's delivery service that brings packages to various locations in Pixie Hollow, each reflecting a different season. This is one of my favorite rides in DisneySea to experience at night because the lights really change the feeling of the ride. Just be prepared for a fairly long walk back to the front of the park if you aren't staying at the Fantasy Springs Hotel. Anyway, as you head back into the main part of DisneySea, you'll find yourself in Arabian Coast. Here you'll find Jasmine's Flying Carpets, where you can control a magic carpet that flies around in a circle. If you're in a group of 1 or 2 people, there's a possibility of being put with another group in your carpet, with the front group controlling the altitude and the back group controlling the angle at which the carpet flies. Next to the flying carpets, you'll find Sinbad's Storybook Voyage. On this boat ride, you'll experience the story of Sinbad. The waits for this attraction are usually not very long, so it can be a great way to get out of the rain or harsh sun when you don't want to be outside. As you continue along Arabian Coast, you'll find Abu's Bazaar. While this is technically a shop rather than an attraction, you can pay to play carnival games and win some prizes. A lot of foreign visitors don't want to pack a large plushie, so they intentionally try to lose in order to get the pins or charms instead. In the next area of Arabian Coast, you'll find the Magic Lamp Theater, where you can watch Shaban, an untalented magician who discovered Genie's lamp, try to perform magic. During this show that combines real magic tricks performed on stage with 3D visual effects, his apprentice and Genie will try to disrupt him. This is a fun show even if you don't understand the Japanese dialogue. Back outside, you'll find the 2-story Caravan Carousel. Here you can ride camels, exotic beasts, and even Genie. The genies on the top floor tend to be particularly popular. Towards the center of the park, you'll find Mermaid Lagoon, which has attractions geared more towards younger guests. In the outdoor part of this land, there's Scuttle Scooters, where you'll sit in a hermit crab that goes around and around. Nearby, you'll see Flounder's Flying Fish Coaster, where you'll soar around Mermaid Lagoon in a flying fish. Next, we'll head into King Triton's castle for some indoor attractions. On Jumpin' Jellyfish, you'll sit in a shell attached to a jellyfish that will bring you gently up and down. The Whirlpool is a spinning ride where sitting in these cups made from kelp can lead you to getting a little bit dizzy. On Blowfish Balloon Race, you'll get lifted up by these puffed up blowfish in a buoyant underwater spin. I find that rides in Mermaid Lagoon tend to have almost no wait at the end of the day because most families with kids don't stay in the park all the way until park closing. In addition to rides, Mermaid Lagoon also has Ariel's playground where you can climb around and explore things like Ariel's treasure collection. There's even interactive areas hidden away in the dark tunnels. Mermaid Lagoon also has the Mermaid Lagoon Theater, which stopped running King Triton's concert during the pandemic. After briefly being a character greeting area, it's unclear when the show will return or if this space will eventually be used for something else. With all of these attractions, it's easy to get overwhelmed when planning your trip to DisneySea. If this is the only trip you're going to make to the park in many years, my best advice is to go during a time of the year when the wait times are lower. In most years, this tends to be between mid-January to the end of February, while the worst times tends to be the end of March and Golden Week. My next tip is to arrive early at the park before it even opens and immediately head over to the ride you want to go on first. For first-time visitors who don't mind a little bit of a walk, Indiana Jones and Raging Spirits could be great first rides because a lot of people don't get to that part of the park so quickly. If you happen to be familiar with the layout of the park and arrive early enough before park open, then you could also consider Journey to the Center of the Earth and Tower of Terror. And if you happen to be staying at a hotel that gives you early entry into DisneySea before other guests, then you might see low wait times at Soaring and Toy Story Mania. The standby lines for these 6 attractions often close earlier than the rest of the park, so after the nighttime shows, I usually plan to go on rides like Nemo and Friends SeaRider. Another way to lower your wait times is to purchase Disney Premier Access through the app in order to use the priority lines at popular attractions. While this will cost extra money, it can be worth it if your time in the park is limited. Now, a lot of people do have issues when trying to use non-Japanese credit cards in the app. So for the Americans out there, I'll put a link in the description of this video to a credit card that I've personally used in the app that also has 0 foreign transaction fees and will earn decent rewards on your spending. If you're having issues with your credit card when purchasing tickets to DisneySea through the official website, I'll also have a link to Klook where I personally purchase my tickets these days. Attractions without Premier Access might have something called Priority Pass that also allows you into the priority lines, but without costing you anything extra. Vacation packages are another way to get access to priority lines, but these can be quite expensive. I might make another video going into more detail about things like Premier Access and Priority Pass, and I will have other videos that can help you plan your trip to Tokyo Disney. So make sure to check out the links on screen for more information.